Hello, N4H&H here. Did you hear that motorboating sound? That's our washing machine. There's some videos here on the channel from a couple of years ago where I discovered that was what was causing this noise. Hear it? And it's broadbanded. You can see it up there on the scope every few kilohertz.
Sounded better now.
I'm here on the 80 meter band. Now I'm helping myself a little bit by running IPO2 as opposed to AMP1.
Are you in California? Okay. Congratulations. Nice place to be.
IPO2 as opposed to IPO1. IPO2 completely bypasses any amplifier in the first stage of your receiver. IPO or IPO1, intercept point optimization, technically has a very small amount of amplification, but it's optimized for signal to noise ratio. On a band this low, you don't need any amplification. Frequency this low. Sometimes I don't even use IPO1 on 40 meters. I'll go straight to IPO2 if I'm listening to super strong stations. But listen, even with all that, the motorboating is still in there.
Yes, you're real close.
It's coming from an AC inverter drive.
I'm in the ballpark. That's what I've got to do.
Now, I'm also wrestling with power line noise again, and the power company's too undermanned right now to be able to get somebody out here, so I'm having to deal with that. So, the reason I wanted you to see this is I'm going to give you a little bit of a precursor to a video that's coming up in a couple of weeks here on the channel. I'll do a little deeper dive into this, but I'm going to show you how I'm going to tackle that noise.
Hang around. We're going to have a net here after a while. We're going to have a net here after a while.
Notice how it's gone. It's not showing up on the scope either.
On this frequency. You'd be welcome to
Now see, if I was doing that in DSP, just to give you a little insight here, if I was tackling that noise in the DSP stage, you would still see the noise on the scope, because the scope is reading way ahead of DSP. All right, in the receiver chain, it's looking at the entire band, as you can tell.
Marshall?
So,
Okay, I think I've heard him before.
see the noise? And hear the noise.
He's in Midland, Texas.
Okay, here's what I'm doing.
Netherlands.
Remember I did an unboxing video on this guy a couple of months ago, the QRM Eliminator? I had something like this from MFJ for several years, and it just kept breaking down. And to be honest with you, it's 4 times the price of this one, and a lot more knobs and buttons to fool with. This has literally a power button and 3 knobs. And it's actually performed quite well for me. I don't need it up here when my power lines aren't acting up, but they are acting up right now, and for that matter, while the washing machine's on, it helps. So that's the box, the QRM Eliminator. You can buy a kit, the little board, build your own box, you know, put a switch on there, knobs, connections on the back. It requires your main antenna route through it, and then a cable over to your radio, and then a secondary or an auxiliary antenna. That's what the gain 2 knob is for. That's main antenna, that's auxiliary antenna, and that's just nothing more than a noise receive antenna. And then you got a phase knob. So the quick and dirty on it is that device is going to take what's coming in on the 2 antennas, and you know, the idea is that they're both receiving the same noise pulses, and by adjusting the gain of the noise antenna and the phase knob, you can cancel it out. So it's doing it before the signal ever gets to the receiver. That's the importance of it, and that's why you don't see it on the scope. The noise disappears on the scope as well, and it's because it's taking the noise on the noise antenna versus the noise coming in on the main antenna, and it's inverting it. It's reinserting it 180 degrees out of phase when you adjust the knobs, and nulling it out. Here's another example. 40-meter band. Hear the noise. So, when he talks again, notice.
Roger. Okay, very good. Yeah, we got it. Looks like we might have worked before Alan. The name here, Bob. Bob is the name. And we're located in the state of West Virginia, a little town called Summit Point, West Virginia, near Washington, D.C. And you're running about S7 or so, a little bit of QSB, but we do hear you in there. Boy, signals are not great tonight. I don't know what's going on.
There you go. Adjust a couple of knobs and all the noise out.
So,
So you can see a noise level there. See how that works? Easier to do here when nobody's talking. See the noise? Look at the S meter. That's all there is to it. You just turn these two knobs until you've got the noise nullified. It may take, 2 to 3 turns of each, one, then the other, then the other, then the other, until you get it. And what you're doing is you're taking the noise pulses that are coming in on the noise antenna and using the phase knob to invert those 180 degrees out of phase with what's coming in on the main antenna before it ever gets into the radio receiver. And that's why you could even see on the scope that the noise was disappearing. So I hope that is helpful to you. This box, I paid $52 on eBay. You can buy a kit and build your own. You can get the circuit board kit and then you can build your own box around it. But for $52, I went ahead and bought it. And yes, MFJ makes something like it called the 1026, model 1026, and I've got one, but it's been very problematic, and I gave up on it, and it costs 4 times the price of this thing. So while I try not to buy from China, I did buy this one, and it absolutely does work. One of my Patreon supporters of the channel actually turned me on to this device, so thank you so much. And I wanted to share that with the rest of you in case you're having a hard time enjoying your radio due to noise. Okay, and again, in a couple of weeks, I'll have a video come out called QRM Eliminator to the Rescue, where I actually show this thing knocking down my power line noise. I've already filmed that video, and it'll be released in a couple of weeks. But I wanted you to see, here we are back to what it sounds like without it. It's not terrible. I will tell you, I got in here earlier, and it was like S9. So it's not as bad as it was. But hey, why hear any of it? All right, hey, thanks for watching, and do appreciate you supporting my channel by watching the videos, liking the videos, and of course, if you would, subscribe to the channel and click the bell to be notified when I upload the next video. And again, thanks to my Patreon supporters for helping me keep this channel going. All right, 73 from N4H&H.